Let's head straight into our headlines for this afternoon. A nation in mourning as 8 persons, including 2 ministers, were killed in a helicopter crash in a forest near Obuasi in the Ashanti region. Meanwhile, plans to bury the Muslims among the deceased on Thursday have been postponed, pending full identification of the bodies. On Business Edge, we play back an interview with the late Environment Minister Ibrahim Muntala Mohammed. Thank you very much for staying with us, and let's get straight into our first story for this afternoon. The remains of the 8 persons who died in the helicopter crash that occurred on August 6th arrived in Accra Wednesday evening. They were received at the Bema camp in Accra for onward transport to the mortuary for storage. The Chief of Staff, Julius Deborah, and other senior government officials were present to receive the 8 caskets draped in the national flag. Here are some highlights of the brief ceremony.
We now have the safe parapathy moving to receive the safe vessel.
Yesterday was indeed a wicked Wednesday. Now, President Mahama has in the meantime asked the Finance Minister, Dr. Kasila Toforson, to act as Defense Minister, while Lands and Natural Resources Minister Emmanuel Amakofi Boa will act as Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation. So, Honorable Kasial Atoforson and Honorable Emmanuel Kofi Boa to act as Defense and Environment, Science and Technology Ministers. President John Dramani Mahama has asked, the Minister. So the president has asked the Minister for Finance, Honorable Dr. Kasiala Forson, to take on additional responsibility as Defense Minister. The president has also asked the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Honorable Emmanuel Kofi Amabua, to act as Minister for Environment, Science and Technology until further notice. This follows the tragic demise of the substantive ministers for Defense and Environment, Science and Technology in yesterday's fatal helicopter crash on their way to an event in Obuasi. And this has been signed by Felix Kwachi Ofosu, MP and spokesperson to the President, Minister, Government Communications. Now, my colleague Jeffrey Mauto-Atipo earlier reported that some MPs from the majority side have been to the home of the late Muntala Mohammed. Let's cross over to him for more. So we have the majority MPs visit the home of deceased ministers, and here they are on your screen. They are there to pay homage. All right, so that's they are at the home of the late Honorable Muntala Mohammed to pay homage, to show love and support after the tragic incident happened yesterday. There and a host of other MPs from the majority side of Parliament showing love and support to the family of the late Muntala Mohammed. It was yesterday. Unbelievable. So that's Collins Dowda in our visuals there, Dr. Zeneto as well. We can also see Alasan Suyini in the showing love to them. Kweku Hagan is also in our pictures there showing love. That's Emilia Atta also crying. Such a tragic moment, if you ask me.
So I also made some calls to confirm. Unfortunately, it was confirmed. I got so devastated. I didn't know what to do, but I was shaking. Well, yesterday in the morning, I had a conversation with one of the affected brothers, Elijah Monero Lemuna. There was something we needed to do, and he tried to check out. So I was on phone with him with Honorable Muntaka. And on the phone, he said that he had to hang up because he was running to the Air Force base to catch the heli to Obuasi for the function. Shortly after that, I got this news. I got traumatized. In fact, I couldn't breathe. I was broken completely. And so I had to leave immediately and got to Accra late in the night. Honorable Mutala did not see me as a colleague in Parliament, but saw me as a senior brother. He always referred to me as a senior brother, and he's full of humor and jokes, and you like him. A very effective member of Parliament, very knowledgeable, both in the Arabic and also the secular. So his demise is a loss to those of us very close to him, and also to the party and government at large. When it happens like this, I believe is that There is another phase of our life. That's where he is gone to. And we pray that Allah accepts his soul in Jannatul Firdaus. And also pray that Allah takes care of the wife, the children, the close family, and the extended family. It's our wish that the thing that he proposed to do in his ministry as minister, the next person who will take over will take those things up for Ghana to be good. So
he must have left a huge vacuum, both in Parliament as a minister.
Certainly, yes. The vacuum is huge. In debates in Parliament, you all know his contribution, so passionate about the issues he will raise. And sometimes you think he's fighting. That's how passionate he is with his thoughts. And so, yes, a great vacuum has been created, not only in Parliament, in government, and also in the media space. We'll miss him.
Thank you. So that's Honorable Collins Dauda there. I quickly want to speak to Honorable Comfort Doyo Kujo. They are just departing to Honorable Dr. Omanibuame's house. But quickly, Honorable, so what would you have to say with regards to Honorable Murtala Mohammed? He passed on yesterday.
Not him alone, to everyone who was in that jet. In fact, yesterday wasn't good at all, and it was really a Black Wednesday. We extend our condolences to all the family members and Ghana as a whole, Parliament, the President, who couldn't even speak because he was so devastated that he couldn't control himself. It was unexpected. So we pray that God keep in his bosom and a good place to bury all of them. So we'll give them a fitting burial. And then the families that they have left behind will be properly taken care of.
So that's my colleague Jeffrey Mautuatipe at the home of the late Dr. Edward Omani Boama. Right there. And that was at Muntala's house, actually talking to people, taking their reactions after the tragic incident that happened yesterday. He was at the home of Honorable or the late Muntala Mohammed, taking reactions there. And you can see clearly that a lot of people are in disbelief. They can't really fathom, put their head around what really happened yesterday. A Black Wednesday, I must say. So rather unfortunate incident right there, and that our colleague Jeffrey, we are going back to him right now we'll be going back to him to take some reactions there again. A lot of people are in the home of the late minister to show their love and support to him. In fact, as the news broke yesterday, a lot of people were sad, a lot of people were mourning, a lot of people were in grief, and they could not believe the news that happened. An unfortunate incident, and a lot of people are hoping that it's just not the news, that is just not the truth, but here we are coming to terms with this news. And our colleague is there to give us up to date what's happening at the home of the late Muntala Mohammed, as we have other colleagues at other places of the ministers that also, the minister, that's Dr. Omani Boama, that also passed. We have another colleague there. So, but right now, that's the home of the late Muntala Mohammed, and we have Jeffrey there taking reactions from members of Parliament, and that's the majority in Parliament there in grief and mourning and showing love to the family of the late minister. We're expecting really tragic moments as 8 people lost their lives with the military helicopter. They were crushed at somewhere in the Ashanti region as they were headed towards Obuasi. Okay, so we are crossing over to our colleague Jeffrey, who is live to give us updates at Dr. Omane Boame's house. Jeffrey, if you can hear me, tell me what's going on at the home of the late Dr. Omane Boame.
Home of the late Defense Minister, Dr. Omane Boame. Currently, the media is not being allowed into the premises of the Defense Minister. Sometimes, I'm sure, because of some security reasons. So the media is not being allowed into the house of Dr. Omane Boame. So as you can see right here, some of the media guys are all here. A number of individuals are just standing here waiting for the MPs to have their engagement with the family and other dignitaries over there before they can come out to interact with the media. So that is the situation right now here at the house or the home of the late Defense Minister Dr. Omane Boame. Early on, we've been to the house of the Tamale Central Member of Parliament. I'm talking about Honorable Murtala Mohammed, where the members of Parliament, led by the First Deputy Speaker, Honorable Bernard Ahiafo, who led the team to the home of the late former Member of Parliament for the Tamale Central. There have been some engagements over there where they were welcomed by the family. Particularly, we saw the brother of the late Murtala Mohammed, who have also been speaking right there. There's been an engagement. We know that Honorable Murtala Mohammed is a Muslim, and so their tradition requires that, sometimes a day after he's there for so, he would have to be buried. The family informed the members of Parliament that they are arranging to come out with time that the late Murtala Mohammed will be laid to rest. So those they had those conversations over there with the members of Parliament. Also have been actually trying to console the family because this is a very, very huge loss, a tragic that hit the nation yesterday as a result of that accident by the military chopper that took the life of the now former Defense Minister and also the Member of Parliament for Tamale Central and the Minister for Environment. So this is the situation over here. We are just awaiting the MPs. One of the issues that came up in the house of the late MP was that I've been speaking to some members of Parliament, particularly former Finance Minister Dr. Amin Adams, who actually indicated that this is very, very, very tragic. He believes that investigation will have to be conducted into this development because we couldn't just allow matters to rest just like that. There was some negligence. He thinks that there was some negligence on the side of those handling the chopper. So an investigation will have to be carried out, and he is urging Parliament to, as a matter of urgency, initiate investigation into this matter to make sure that whatever may have gone wrong for us who have experienced the situation like this, it will be unraveled for all members of parliament to also learn from. So that is the development right now as I speak with you. It's just unfortunate we couldn't proceed to the home of the defense minister, but this has been, when we got to the house, I mean, it was a clear indication when a family of the late Murtala Mohammed were in tears. They couldn't hold there. It was a solemn situation when we got to the house there, and as it stands now, the situation remains so because many people were not expecting a development like this to happen. This is a shock to a lot of people. Even members of parliament have seen the member of the minister for fisheries, Emilia Arthur, crying tearfully. She was so tearful uncontrollably in the house of the late Murtala Mohammed. That has been the development. It was just a scene of mourning and anguish in the house there when we earlier visited the house, Eugenia. So it is a clear indication that the whole country is mourning this situation. Nobody, absolutely nobody, not a single person that I've seen in that particular environment talking about Honorable Murtala Mohammed will be seen laughing. I've seen a number of dignitaries over there, some other politicians, other top media personalities were all there in their numbers to commiserate with the family. And also, I think the members of parliament are done with the engagement. I'll try and get a few of them. Honorable Ramadan, can we quickly? Okay, he won't speak to me, but I'll try and get a few of them to speak to. Honorable, so thank you so much. You are live on Metro TV. You have been to the home of Honorable Murtala Mohammed. You've been here at Honorable Omanebo Ama's home. What have you been observing so far? And even this news, when it broke, how did it come to you?
Personally, I felt shattered. You would never wish such a thing happened, but all we can say is for God to give us strength, especially to the immediate family. That's all we wish for. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So we are still here. Let me speak to Honorable Adama Suleimana, who is the member of parliament for Tan constituency. So Honorable, it's a very, very, very sad situation, I must say. You have been to the home of Dr. Murtala Mohammed. You've been here as well. Before then, how did this development come to you?
Yesterday I was actually on my way to Parliament. We had a series of meetings, even though we are on recess. We are trying to go to Parliament. On my way around Sakomodo, then I had a call. I was driving myself, but I couldn't drive anymore. I had to call my driver to pick me up. It's a big loss to the caucus. It's a big loss to the state. Very sharp brains. Just in a click of a button, they are just gone. I don't know how we are going to replace them, but for Murtala, he's one of our best debaters on the floor, as you know. He's very sharp. He's very forceful, but warm and humble. We've lost a great asset, just like the other colleagues that we have lost at the way. Our condolences to the family and to the people of Ghana.
Honorable, when you saw or you see the videos yesterday, how does it strike you? I mean,
it's difficult to take. It's try to push it in the subconscious. You just don't want to even consider that colleagues that you know will go through this. It's very shocking, but God knows best.
All right, thank you so much. So that's the member of parliament for Tan constituency. I'm getting to speak to the deputy majority leader in parliament, Honorable Rickett Hagan. Honorable Rickett, thank you so much. You are live on Metro TV. So it's a very, very sad development. You have been visiting the homes of some of the deceased. Well, how, first of all, did this news come to you?
Well, I think the whole country is in a kind of a somber, moment. This is terrible news to hit the country. These are national figures, and nobody can understand these things when they happen. We leave it to the Almighty God who brought us here, and at some stage you will take all of us here. It's just the way we will be going is what none of us know, but we know that eventually we will all be out of here. So we leave it in the hands of the Lord. We came to actually express our condolences to the family, console them, The wife and kids of Dr. Manibuama are not here in Kufredo, but some family members are here. So we've seen them. We'll come here again at an appropriate time. But we have other 8 people actually lost their life serving their country. So we are going around to see all of them. There's none who is less or any of them who is big. They are all human beings serving this country. So we are going around to see all of them if we can find their homes. As you know, this is a big exercise because we need to find the home of our colleagues who are, perished and be able to say something to the family.
Leader, finally, for you, Honorable Murtala Mohammed, he was your colleague. You are his leader. How would you describe him in a very few words?
Well, I'm not only his leader, but he and I served as deputy ministers of trade under Dr. Ekospio Gabra. So at that time, we shared pretty much every day together. He's a comrade. He's a kind guy. He speaks his mind. He's an honest man. And he served his country well, and it's a shame that it has to come to this too early. Thank you.
So thank you so much. So that is the deputy majority leader. I've seen Honorable Kofi Adams, who gave me a few words. Okay, Honorable Kofi Adams will not give me any word, but I want to speak briefly with Honorable Kweku Buam, who is the Member of Parliament for Pro East. Honorable Kweku Buam, I mean, it's a very, very sorrowful situation, I must say. But you have been making some visit this morning. Yes. But before we talk about this, the news, how did it come to you?
It was heartbreaking. It broke us into pieces, and you could see most of us haven't been of ourselves. Since yesterday, some of us are finding it difficult to comprehend what is happening. But God knows best. We have nothing to say. We are just praying for their families, praying for all of us that God should have mercy on us and keep us.
All the deceased are equally important, but for Honorable Murtala Mohammed, for instance, he has been your colleague in Parliament since you came. How would you describe him in few words?
This is somebody who is very assertive, who is a go-getter, who believes in whatever his inclinations are. And he speaks freely, he speaks his mind freely. There's somebody he debates on the floor of Parliament, and whatever he says, when you call him 1,000 times, he stands by it because he knows what his staffs are. And he's a good guy. He's a good guy. I really like him. The last time I've been with him was some few days ago. Went to him in the office and told him, look, I have so much interest in climate, environment, and I see you as a mentor. Carry me along, and that is exactly what I want.
Honorable, can we move a bit forward? But before I let you go, there have been calls for some investigations to be conducted into this development because the issue is the accident was that tragic. Do you support this call?
This is exactly what we are all calling for the sake of future occurrences. We need it. We need a 360 investigation into this whole thing, and we need to unravel what might have caused that. And I believe leadership in Parliament will take it up. If there are legislations that are supposed to be enacted around these things, trust me, we will do it. It is for the sake of our country, and we are serving God and country.
Right, thank you. So I have been speaking to Honorable Kweku Buam as well. He is the Member of Parliament for the Pro East constituency. So he has also legitimated the call that there has to be some investigation into this development to unravel the cause of what actually caused the chopper to get into that particular crash. So the members of Parliament are down over here. They've actually, some of them are in their cars right now about to return back to Parliament. So this has been the development. They've been able to meet some of the family members over here, even though some are in Koforidua, as I've been told. Some of the family members are in Koforidua, but a number of them are also here. So they've come to have a conversation with them, to commiserate with them, calm them down, just to also make sure that, whatever plans that they have for the funeral and all that, they will be discussed with them. So the Deputy Majority Leader, Honorable Kweku Rikesekan, told me earlier that they will be returning back here in some days, and they will keep coming until the final funeral rites of all the deceased persons are planned, and then they are buried. So we'll keep following these developments and we'll update our viewers as it unfolds. So from the home of Dr. Omani Buama here in the La Dadekotopon constituency, Jeffrey Mauto Atipo for Metro News. You know, go figure like that. Charlie, me could join.
That was my colleague Jeffrey Mauto Atipo from the residence of the late Dr. Omani Boama. Now let's head straight to the Tamale. The region there, and a lot is happening. Some residents of Tamale are reflecting on the tragic military helicopter crash in the Adansi Ekrofo district of the Ashanti region, which has claimed the lives of 3 crew members and 6 passengers. Among the deceased are the Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, Muntala Mohammed, and the Minister of Defense, Dr. Omani Boama.
The people of Tamale Central and even Northern region, I don't know how to describe. It's only God that we pray, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should have mercy on our MP. Because yesterday in the morning we spoke and he gave us a task to perform, and that some of our executives are not well, they are down with stroke. So he gave us money to go around and cater for their medical bills. So while we were at it, we heard news that there has been an accident of a helicopter crash. So news were coming in, we started receiving calls. People were telling us to call our MP. We started calling him, it was not going through. So he said, no, it's not true until today we are here. We are still not believing it, but as Muslims, what we can say is, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. That's our only word that we can use. Because Honorable Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed, for the short time that he has been in Tamale Central, 4 years, 7 months, the number of lives that he has touched. Yesterday, one of the medical students that he has been training, they are 45 now. This girl, we have to look for nurses to put her on drips. She can't believe it. As you can see in the background, we are waiting for a signal from government as to when the burial will take place. So that's why we are here this morning. We are forcing ourselves to believe that Honorable Mutala is no more.
Here once more to mourn with the bereaved family. Yesterday I was here with the same contingent to express our condolences to the bereaved family and to formally, as custom demands, to formally announce the funeral of our late brother, the Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, who also doubles as the MP for Tamale Central, to the bereaved family yesterday, which we did. Yesterday we thought, as at this time, the body or the mortal remains were brought to us to see how we can bury. Fortunately, latter part of the night, the signal brought to us that they are still going through some processes of autopsy. It will be after that they will get back to us as to when exactly the burial will be done or the body will be brought to us.
Honorable Mutala is my big brother. I remember the last encounter that I had with him when I congratulated him on his appointment as the Minister of State. He said, but you there, you wouldn't be in opposition. He was someone, look, let me tell you, take it or leave it. He was very decent in his politics, factual and analytical, very critical. But what was happening is that he would say things as it is. You even coming from opposition, then in government, you know that this man, what he's saying is factual and analytical. One thing that is very disturbing is that, he has about 40 medical students who taking care of them from his own common fund. Someone called and the woman was weeping. Do you know what the woman said? The woman said he has dug a borehole at the Gwanda before. That's where they reside. But them as the water crisis in Tamale is so severe, they are not feeling it. Courtesy Honorable Mohammed, Dr. Ibrahim Mutala. And you see, look at all titles. My late brother, never mind of these titles. He said, if you want to call me comrade. That is how humble this gentleman was. I believe it's a big blow to even members of the New Patriotic Party when you go to our platforms. But I am telling you something that nobody...
Residents are also in disbelief, but right now we have Alassane Baba. He's our Northern Regional Correspondent, and he joins me via phone for some updates. Good afternoon to you, Alassane.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to our viewers across the world.
Great. How is the mood in Tamale Central today?
I can call it a good one, not only in Tamale Central. Even if you go on the streets of Tamale, you will realize that something is wrong somewhere because people are not even out. Many stores are not even open like it used to be. The situation is hitting the good people of Tamale like something they never expected before, because people can't just believe that Murtala Muhammad or Dr. Murtala Muhammad is no more. People are still in disbelief, and many people are not finding it easy to even do their businesses in Tamale. When I visited the family house of Dr. Murtala, I could see that even the family themselves are still confused, even though they are preparing for the funeral of Dr. Murtala. But they are still confused. The regional minister visited, a whole lot of figures within the northern region visited the family house, and they have to console the family to let them understand that the situation is, it is the reality that has happened, and they have to accept it as it is. I tried speaking to the regional organizer of the party, who said he was not able to speak to anybody because he doesn't want to spoil the mood of the whole family, because as of today, the family is beginning to cope. They are not crying like they were doing yesterday. And many of the party executives are finding it difficult to control themselves. So the situation is very dire in Tamale. And I must also add, can't you see that almost all those who spoke are mentioning the about 45 medical students that the man was training? It is becoming a topical issue in Tamale. Because I spoke to one of the students who told me that, Baba, so am I becoming a fatherless again? And when I inquired, it was that the guy, the lady is an orphan, and Dr. Murtala Muhammad was the one doing everything for the girl. He paid for first admission fee at the UDS, paying the hostel fee, paying almost everything. And there are about 45 of them that he is training. And he promised that he was, after 8 years, he was expecting himself to train about 80 medical students or 80 doctors for the constituency. And he told them that he was not barring anybody to go anywhere and practice. But the point is, they should have, or they should concentrate their services within the northern region to help. Because if you are in the northern region, you realize that it's like there are shortage of doctors within the region. And that is the vision he was having. That was his mission. He was planning to ensure that the region has enough doctors to treat or to cater for the health needs of the good people of Tamale. But unfortunately, this is where we are. People are finding it difficult to believe, but that is the reality. And if I spoke to many people on the streets of Tamale, and they are also finding it difficult to believe. And many people are speaking good of Dr. Murtala Muhammad, because even the opposition members of opposition members, I mean the New Patriotic Party, many of them are speaking good of him, because according to them, he even ensured that many of them, their school fees were paid and all those kind of things. So the situation is hitting almost everybody within the northern region and beyond. And the family, according to them, they were planning to bury him today, but the communication that was sent to them, they are unable to go by it, because the government says they have to do some checks and autopsies before they hand over the bodies to the respective families.
Okay, so you made us understand that, though there have been the planned funeral rites for the deceased who the Muslims have postponed. Now, can you tell us why they've postponed this? What exactly is the reason why they've done that?
According to the Islamic tradition, when someone dies, it is not good for you to keep the person down, especially the nature of their death. So the family was expecting the body of Dr. Murtala Muhammad this morning, but unfortunately, according to the information we are taking, they have to do thorough investigation to identify the bodies before they hand them over to the family. But as a matter of fact, if maybe the burial was able to go on, that would have helped matters a lot because many people would have been able to come to terms with the death of the member of parliament for Tamale Central. But for the fact that it is still outstanding, it is making the whole thing very difficult for people to still understand. But yet, what we can say is that people are beginning to come to terms with the reality, which is that Dr. Murtala Muhammad is no more there.
Came to inform them who is the person representing President John Dramani Mahama that came to the home of Murtala.
Yesterday, a number of government officials came to the house of Dr. Murtala Muhammad, including the Northern Regional Minister, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, the Education Minister, the Vice President of the Republic, and many other government officials. They came yesterday to inform the family that about the death of Dr. Murtala and impending and about their giving the body of Dr. Murtala to the family. But unfortunately, it couldn't happen. And that is why this morning, the Northern Regional Minister and many MMDCs came to the house of Dr. Murtala Muhammad and to inform the family that they are unable to hand over the body because certain checks have to be done before that is done. So the Northern Regional Minister, almost all the heads of security agencies within the region and the Northern Regional Coordinating Director and many party executives within the region accompanied the Northern Regional Minister to the house of Dr. Murtala Muhammad a while ago and to inform them that after the autopsy, the bodies are going to be released for the respective families for burial to take place, and to also console them and tell them that they should have patience. What the government is doing is a needed thing that has to be done before any other thing takes place. So the family is beginning to cope with the situation, but as a matter of fact, it is not an easy thing in Tamale, most especially with the family members.
Did they give any indication that the President John Dramani Mahama himself will be visiting the home soon, especially because, per the Muslims' right, they're supposed to bury the late minister as soon as possible?
That is the information we are picking, even though we can't confirm that yet. But that is the information we are picking from the courtesies of leaders within the northern region. I picked that information from the courtesies of the NDC executives in the region, and even from the office of the Northern Regional Minister. So we are waiting to see after the checks if the bodies are given to the families, if the president will really come to visit the families and to console them on that incident. So that is why we are still waiting to see if that is going to happen. But that is the information I picked this morning from those courtesies.
Well noted. Thank you very much. Alasandi Baba, that's our Northern Regional Correspondent there, giving us updates on what's happening at the home of the late Murtala Muhammad. Now, the Savannah Regional Minister Salisu Biawobe has formally informed the family of Sunday Poare Alaji Limona Muniru of his tragic passing in the Adansi helicopter crash. The minister led a government delegation to the family house in Langboto, a suburb of Damango, to convey the sad news.
It is a tragedy hard to bear, a loss difficult to replace as family, party sympathizers and community members flocked to mourn the tragic passing of the acting Deputy National Security Coordinator, Alhaji Muniru Muhammad, who died tragically in the Adansi helicopter crash. The government delegation was led by the Savannah Regional Minister, Salisu Biawobe, to formally inform the family.
We feel so sad and sorrow to hear the news that he and others perished as a result of a plane crash. Indeed, Alhaji Muniru is a strong pillar as far as the family is concerned.
The Municipal Chief Executive for the West Gonja Municipality, who is also a member of the family, expressed the irreparable loss to them.
It is a very big blow to the entire Gonja land, especially the people of Damangu. Yeah, we heard it and we couldn't believe it. But when we rushed to the family house, the news broke in and everybody was very sad. Chief Alhaji Muniru was a very kind man. a generous man, and somebody who helps people a lot.
The loss of Alhaji Muhammad Muniru Limuna, a chief, a former Minister of Food and Agriculture, a respected figure in the community, has been met with widespread grief and shock.
Today is a sad day for Damongo. Today is a day that we cannot forget. Today is a devastating day for the good people of Damongo. Alhaji Muniru, as we all call him, Sanda Piwura, is someone who is a God-fearing person, someone who is down to earth with the people, someone who resonates with the people, someone who sees Damongo development as his priority. So this loss, in fact, is a great loss to Mother Ghana. It's a great loss to the good people of Savannah region.
The passing of Alhaji Muniru has sent shockwaves throughout the community, with many describing him as a pillar of strength and a dedicated public servant. His legacy will be remembered for years to come.
Meanwhile, government has announced program for 3 days of national mourning for the departed soldiers to honor them. Now let's read the statement. Government announces program for 3 days of national mourning to honor the departed. Government wishes to announce program for 3 days of national mourning from Thursday 7 August to Saturday 9 August 2025. This solemn period is dedicated to honoring the departed and providing an opportunity for national reflection and remembrance. Activities will commence on Thursday with a public laying of flowers and lighting of candles. This act of remembrance will take place at the ceremonial garden at the front of the presidency from 1 p.m. so that's few minutes away. Now, members of the public, families and friends are respectfully invited to participate. The opportunity for the laying of flowers and lighting of candles will continue on Friday, 8 August 2025, allowing further time for citizens to express their condolences and respect. Now, the period of national mourning will conclude Saturday, 9 August 2025, with an evening reflections and memorials. This big night event will begin at 5 p.m. at the forecourt of the State House, where all Ghanaians and families will gather to reflect on the legacy and contributions of the departed. These 3 days offer our nation a vital opportunity to collectively mourn and reflect on the profound loss we have experienced. We urge all citizens to observe the period of national mourning with dignity and respect. Further details regarding the state's funeral and any additional arrangements will be communicated through official government channels. Now, Western Regional Minister Joseph Nelson has officially announced the tragic death of flying officer Chuma Mpedu to his family. He was among the 8 individuals who lost their lives in the tragic incident that occurred on Wednesday, August 6th. Before his untimely demise, flying officer Chuma Mpedu was stationed at the Takoradi Air Force Base. His wife, Lieutenant Erajua Kumitreme, is also serving as a psychologist at the 2nd Garrison Western Naval Command in Sekondi.
It was an atmosphere enveloped with sadness as the wife of flying officer Chuma Mpedu, Lieutenant Erajua Kumitreme, a psychologist at the Western Naval Command, received the heartbreaking news of the passing of her husband. Western Regional Minister Joseph Nelson paid a visit to the bereaved family to offer words of condolence and comfort to the grieving wife and the commanding officers of Western Naval Command during this unimaginable tough time. According to the Western Region Minister, all 3 crew members involved in the incident were from the Takoradi Air Force Base.
We needed to think through what we could do. Really, we've come here because one of crew member's wife is also a naval officer. So I had to come here to commiserate with them. There are two others who are not in the jurisdiction now. We are making effort to locate them so we can go commiserate with them. So we've come here just to see the wife of one of the crew members, to comfort her soldiers, right officer Pedro. Yes. And so that's basically why we are here.
Flag Officer commanding Western Naval Command Samuel Agalizano received the Western Region Minister Joseph Nelson and his delegation at the base, describing the day as a sober Wednesday. He expressed shock upon receiving the distressing news, which cast a pall over the second garrison.
Today has been described as a sad Wednesday for the whole of Ghana. This garrison has not been spared. It's a really sad day for us as a garrison. When I heard the news myself, I was shocked. And I'm sure the same feeling is what you felt when you heard the news. Our sister here is not in the best of shapes. We are all bereaved, but she, I believe, is more hurt because our brother is involved in this sad incident.
Now we are still in the Western region. Zamba Gadarafu Saminu is our Western regional correspondent, and he also joined us on phone for some updates. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Now tell us what exactly is happening in the Western region in regards to the passing of these 8 gallant men.
Indeed, the city has been in a very pensive mood following the demise of these 3 officers who happened to be the crew members who accompanied the helicopter on that tragic incident. And one particular interesting, like you rightly pointed out, is the wife of Chum Ampedu, who is one of the officers. And apparently the wife is also an officer at the naval base. And so apart from the sad news hitting the Air Force Base Command, it was another pensive mood at the naval base as well when the minister, who is the chairman of the Regional Security Council, Honorable Joseph Nelson, led a delegation accompanied by the National Security Liaison Officer Brigadier Musa Waja retired to the Naval Command to announce the passing of the officer to the wife, who is a psychologist at the Naval Base Command. And so the atmosphere in the region has been that of pensive mood. The minister himself is somehow distressed. He is very sad at this moment, considering the fact that he chairs the Security Council in the region. And the incident happening yesterday truly affecting 2 of the commands under his watch. And so he led a team to visit the Air Force Base and the Naval Command to announce the passing of the officers and to console the bereaved families, particularly the wife of Officer Chum Ampedu. And so if you look at what is happening at the moment in the city, the military commands, that is the Air Force Base and the Naval Command, have all been affected following the incident yesterday. And so the 2 commands have been a bit quiet, very pensive. Everybody is in sad mood, apart from the national psyche that the whole country has been thrown into that state of mourning. The 2 commands have been badly hit by the incident. following the demise of the 3 officers. And unfortunately, one of them also happened to be the husband of one of the officers of the Naval Command. So basically, that is the situation in the city.
But have you had the opportunity to meet the psychologist who happens to be the wife of the...
Yes, so the regional minister, in fact, led a team, like I rightly said or pointed out, with the National Security Liaison Officer, Brigadier Musa Waja, retired, to announce the passing of their husband, and they had to pray. They had to pray for some minutes. I mean, before breaking the news to her. It wasn't easy to, to take, because, when the incident happened, what many people, speculated, eventually when the list came out, it was realized that virtually everybody on board the flight had passed away. And so until when the minister announced the news to the bereaved families, particularly the widow, as we all know. In fact, the speculation was that only 5 people died. Some said 6 people, some said 3 people. So it wasn't clear who actually was affected or who was involved and who actually had passed away, until when the confirmation came, and then the minister decided to do the right thing by visiting the bereaved family and to also break the news to the widow. And like somebody said, that the minister had to use officials to psych the psychologist before even breaking the news to her.
Wow. We hope you are going to follow this and give us all updates that will be happening after after everything that happens. They will be waiting to hear from you. And that was my colleague right there, Zambaga Rufai Samino. Okay, now the headmaster of Pope John Senior High School and Minor Seminary, Reverend Benjamin Opoko Ohene, has recounted how the school received the news on the demise of the Minister of Defense, Dr. Edward Omanibuama, and 7 others.
The death of our noble friend, Honorable Dr. Edward Kofi Omanibuama, shook all of us. In fact, he has thrown the whole school in a state of mourning, not only the nation. Why Pope John? Why Pope John? Because Dr. Omanibuama, as far as I'm concerned, said at the speech day, it took place in June, that his whole life is Pope John. He owes his whole life to Pope John. He recounted his story, how he wanted to gain admission to Pope John and his name went to Sectec, and that was not his dream school. The mother has to fight hard. Finally, he has to get his dream school and was enrolled in Pope John. And since then, he has completed his education in Pope John and is one of the dearest projects back to the school. Dr. Omanibuama's death shook all of us, because I, as a headmaster, I recently had interactions with him as far as his school is concerned. He has a lot of plans for the school, starting with the asphalt overlay that he constructed on our school road, which was in a very deplorable situation. It's something that you will never forget. And even starting from the Roman Junction and the inner roads of the school, to the extent that even St. Joseph Hospital could benefit from the asphalt overlay, tells us that he's a man, is a citizen, a true citizen, and a patriot of Ghana. Very charitable, very kind, and very humane. When he came to the speech, they relayed before him a lot of needs of the school. And interestingly, soon after the speech, he called me to link up to the Get Fund administrator, who was his personal friend. And so I was able to link up to the Get Fund administrator, and he asked me to officially write the needs of the school to see in what way they can come to the aid of the school. Within a week, Get Fund have sent a delegation of people to come and ascertain the situation, the state of the 3 facilities. And normally we have morning masses for the students in various houses. So today was Amos' house. So last night I called some of my management people and said, no, mass will not be for only Amos' house. Let us all come together and celebrate this mass. And this is what we just did, just for the Pope John community. So as a Catholic, the Mass is our highest form of prayer that we can render for anybody who dies. So we pray for Maneboama and pray for the 7 other statesmen. And all students have sent, what's the word? Made a press statement. They have made a press release about the death of Maneboama. Try to eulogize him and what we intend to do. We have a board meeting next week Tuesday. Definitely as a board, we will not let it go just like that. Something is going to happen.
It was uneasy for us. We couldn't believe that one of our most powerful alumni of this school was gone. He was almost handling everything for us. With him, we were planning on restoring the school's name back again from the underground produce to a national produce. He was helping us with our roads, our facilities, the labs, and some others.
Actually, it came as a shock to us initially. I remember we got out of the bus and we were told he was gone. We were like, this can't be possible. We just saw him at our last speech and prize giving day. It was a shock. I wasn't ready to hear it. The whole evening, our minds were just, the whole school has been quite safe then. And the students' body is taking it really hardly because he was one of our biggest supporters. He actually showed us the spirit of the Pojoba spirit. Very, very few times did we see someone make it in the school, go out and come back to do great things like he was coming to do for us. He had made so many plans for us, and due to his untimely passing, we don't know whether or not it's coming. And we are all grieving his death in different ways.
So, in his role since with officer career, the ASP1 of the school, and I got to know Honorable on our 67th speech and prize, and he gave a full speech, and one of which he said was we should view a word of encouragement. I would like to say to all my colleagues is that we know that the WASI we are writing is a stepping stone to the next future. Thus, we are going to enter the world, and we excelling in the WASI into the future. It's not just anything, but we are going to make it, and then we are going to come back. Taking a leaf from his book, what he told us was that we should just try and then let people make it through us. Therefore, I would like to tell them that we are supposed to focus and then do everything in our power with the help of God to make it and excel.
Let's now cross over to the Jubilee House, where MPs have arrived to partake in a ceremonial event to honor the deceased.
Visiting the home of the late MP for Tamale Central and also the Minister for Environment. They've also been to the home of the late Defense Minister, Dr. Omane Boama. So now they have proceeded to the Flagstaff House, where they are currently sitting in the auditorium within the Flagstaff House. I can see just when we got to the premises of the Flagstaff House, they were received by Honorable Ofosu Ampofo, who welcomed them to Parliament. Just after that, I saw that flowers are being presented or given to the members of Parliament. And then right after that, we proceeded to the auditorium where they are currently. I'm just going to be finding out what exactly the mission over here is going to be, to understand what actually is also going to be transpiring over here as well. I'll be getting some of the top MPs in terms of leaders of the majority group who are currently here to understand why exactly they are here. But I can see a number of them over here. I can see also Honorable Bernard Ahiafo, who is the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament. He is seated over there. I can also see the Deputy Majority Leader right there, Honorable Comfort Doyo Kujo, who is supposed to be the first Deputy Majority Whip. She is also in the midst of the people. I've seen Honorable Senator Rollins. He's there. Already I've spoken to a number of them right in the home of the late Honorable Murtala Mohammed and also Dr. Omane Boama. And so So I think the MPs have been asked to move out of this particular place, the auditorium. So we would have to be following them to get to know where exactly they are going, so that will bring you development. Will bring you development from this particular engagement that is about to happen. So we are gradually individuals and staff of the flag staff here. The mood actually, I mean, as you may expect, it's not anything to write home about. So they are actually stepping out. The members of parliament are actually getting back to the premises of the Flagstaff House. Yes, that is what is happening now. They are moving back to the main premises of the Flagstaff House. We don't know what exactly is going to be happening, but like I said, flowers. What exactly it is for, we are yet to disclose that, but we are returning back to some engagement is going to be happening with regards to the death of service who died in line of duty yesterday as a result of that helicopter crash somewhere in the Ashanti region. So as you can see, they are out here in their numbers, interacting amongst themselves to see what exactly the engagement is going to be. So right there you can see Honorable Fosuampofo. He is actually leading the team. Yes, so this is what exactly is happening here at the Flagstaff House as the members of parliament visit the Flagstaff House. I can see also Johnson Esiedun Ketia, the national chairman of the NDC. Yes, the national chairman of the NDC. I don't think he will have any word with us now because I've gotten the indication whilst I was just about to move to him, but I've been given an indication that he may not speak to me now. But we are walking towards the main gate of the Flagstaff House for them to have their engagement. The purpose of them holding the flowers is also going to be made known to the public. So here is the clerk to parliament. I think he's about to say something. Okay, we are being directed to proceed forward. So they are moving forward towards the main gate of the Flagstaff House, or if you like, the Jubilee House. That is currently where we are now. We are just trying to monitor to understand what exactly the engagement, what is exactly they are going to be doing over here, because it was quite tragic yesterday. Very, very big blow to the entire nation when two cabinet ministers, including some other government officials and some top military men who actually lost their life yesterday in that tragic accident involving the military chopper Z9 that actually took their life. So we are still proceeding. They are still stepping forward, being led by the chairman of the NDC, Honorable Johnson Esiedun Ketia. He is actually leading. I can see also Honorable Comfort Yokujo. All of them are actually making their way. Now we are out. We are currently at the frontage of the Flagstaff House. A ceremony, I'm sure, is going to be performed. A ceremony is going to be performed, so they are actually coming out. They are coming out in their numbers. The MPs are also coming out, and would want to understand what exactly is going to be happening over here. As far as the death of these 8 individuals are involved. So right in front of me, as my camera can capture, you see the photograph of the 8 individuals who lost their lives yesterday in that tragic accident. We're talking about Dr. Edward Omani Boama, who until yesterday was the defense minister. You can also see Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed, member of parliament for Tamale Central, who was also the Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, Alhaji Muniru Mohammed, Acting Deputy National Security Coordinator, Dr. Samuel Sapon, National Vice Chairman of the NDC, Samuel Abwaji, Acting Deputy Director General, NADMO, Squadron Leader, Peter Bafemi Anala. We've also seen the picture of Flying Officer Nani Chum Ampedu, and also Sergeant Ernest Adomensa. So you can see in your shots over there, we want to actually understand what the MPs are going to be doing right over here, whether those flowers are going to be laid in honor of the departed souls. It was quite unfortunate, very unfortunate incident that happened yesterday somewhere in the Ashanti region, where we've lost 2 cabinet ministers. Like I mentioned their name earlier, Dr. Edward Kofi Omani Boama, who was the defense minister, and also Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed, a member of parliament, as well as Minister for Environment, Science and Technology. So there's some conversation ongoing right there. We do not know what exactly the procedure is going to be, but I can see that some arrangements are going on, some conversations are going on for an activity to be performed by the members of parliament who have arrived in or here at the Flagstaff House. They've early on been to the home of, okay, so there's some announcements ongoing. So Standogbe is actually okay. So that's an announcement, a very short announcement that has been made, just instructing how the media, the members of parliament, and also members of the public who are also watching this particular events, how they have to position themselves and also conduct themselves as far as the development of what exactly they are going to be doing here is concerned. So we are still here trying to gauge the mood and also understand what this particular event is going to be. So that is the situation over here at the Flagstaff House. In fact, the frontage of the Flagstaff House. And in the far end there, I could see Honorable Joyce Bar Muntari, who is standing there. In your shot, as you can see, she just moved to the back of the backdrop. And so we are trying as much as possible to bring to you up to speed what exactly the members of parliament who have already visited the home of Honorable Dr. Murtala Mohammed and also the late Dr. Omani Boama. We are live on Metro TV. It's a live coverage from the Flagstaff House, particularly the frontage, where a ceremony is about to be performed by the members of parliament. So we keep you posted as to what exactly the development is going to be, but in your shots you can see Honorable Felix Ofochu Kwachi, right there, the government spokesperson. You can see some arrangements are being made to actually come out with a very successful event here at the Flagstaff House. Honorable Kwachi Ofosu, as you can see, is actually also holding a flower in his hands, and we are just monitoring to see how exactly this is about to go down, because it looks clearly that this event is just to honor the fallen heroes who passed away in that tragic accident yesterday. Very, very, very unfortunate. There's a very, very, very solemn atmosphere here at the frontage of the Flagstaff House. Almost everybody that you see here is wearing an attire. I mean, as traditionally we all know, when there's certain news or such news of death, see a lot of people wearing black. So that is the atmosphere over here. Almost everybody you see here is in black, mourning the fallen heroes. I mean, some candles have also been lighted under each picture of the deceased persons. Light for them, even though they have passed, but that is actually what it's representing under every picture of the deceased statesmen who passed on yesterday in that tragic chopper accident. Let's get a sound. Let's get a sound. It looks like the military is just about to begin the show. So let's hear them. event that is about to that is actually ongoing over here because the performance by the military has kick-started the event over here. So an announcement is being made to name some of the dignitaries that are going to or that are currently here, and to give the direction as to how the performances over here are going to be. Okay, so the opening prayer, Christian prayer, is going to be offered. So the clergy has been called, who is actually going to be saying the prayer. You are still live.
At this moment, we ask you for grace. We ask you for enablement. We ask you for endurance. We ask you for consolation. We ask you for comfort. May every step, every thought, every word, every activity, every event be part of this comforting moment. May we strengthen each other, and may we find peace in every act we perform. May your grace that is sufficient superintend over every aspect of this ceremony, and may it bring warmth to the nation and to families. Let your gracious presence see us through. In the name of our Lord, amen.
Please let us pray. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا صراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. May our soul rest in perfect peace. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. We'll now take the last post. Thank you. On this somber occasion, may I respectfully invite all of us to observe a minute of silence in memory of our fallen heroes. May the soul of our departed fellows rest in perfect peace. Amen. The Reverend, please. Thank you very much. We now move to the laying of flowers in memory of our fallen comrades. Thank you, Mr. President. Next, we'll have Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. Thank you, Madam Vice President. Next, we'll have the Chief of Staff of the Republic of Ghana. Thank you. We'll now invite the National Chairman of the National Democratic Congress to lay the floor, please. Shall we please invite the National Security Coordinator to also lay a wreath? To also lay a wreath. Next, we invite the Chief of Defense Staff to lay a wreath on behalf of the Ghana Armed Forces. On behalf of the Ghana Air Force, I wish to invite the Director General, Human Resource, to do the flower laying. Next, we'll invite the Deputy Minister for Defense to lay the flower. We shall now invite the first Deputy Speaker of the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana to lay the flower on behalf of the members of Parliament, please. May we now invite the chairman of the Council of State to also lay a wreath, please. We shall now invite the President of the National House of Chiefs to lay a flower, please. Please, the Chief Director of the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology, please get ready. Thank you very much. Last but not the least, may we invite the governor of the Bank of Ghana to lay the flower, please. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, senior government officials, ministers, the general public. We are not yet done. This flower laying ceremony is going to be here from today till Saturday. But with your permission, His Excellency, the President and Vice President will take leave of us as we invite our ministers, government appointees, and the general public. We have two places. There is one to my left, and then there is one to the right here. Thank you very much for all those of you who have contributed, even as we continue to mourn our compatriots. May God bless us and keep us strong, even in this difficult moment. Thank you very much. Mr. President, Madam Vice President, thank you very much for coming. We are now breaking off this session now. Thank you very much for coming.
In honor of the late gallant public officers who lost their life in that tragic accident yesterday at somewhere in the Ashanti region, where the helicopter that they were traveling actually fell or crashed into that particular distance. So as you can see in your shot, some members of parliament and others are still laying wreath over there, as you can see. But in your shot, you saw the president. He was the first to actually lay the wreath on behalf of government. We also saw the vice president, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyemang, who also went there, was followed by the Chief of Staff, Julius Debra, and other government officials who were present over here at the ceremonial park, right in front of the Jubilee Park, in honor of the 8 gallant public officials. We're talking about the now former Defense Minister, Dr. Omane Boamah, who was part of that particular 8 members who were on board the flight that actually crashed yesterday. We also saw the wreath laying for all these 8 individuals who actually passed on tragically yesterday in that particular accident. So the president has just taken leave of us. Some members of parliament have also been laying some flowers in honor of these 8 gallant public officials who actually passed on. I'll be trying to speak to a number of individuals, members of parliament, who are currently still present over here with regards to the activity that has been performed, the rifling that has been performed. It was that important because these are people who died in line of duty. So I mean, the funeral rites have just begun. The president has announced that for the next 3 days, starting from today, all activities will have ceased until further notice. Flags are actually flying at half-mast, so that signifies how important these 8 gallant men who actually passed on yesterday, how important they are to the public. So we are still following development. We're trying to get some of the members of parliament and other government officials over here to actually speak to get more reaction about this unfortunate incident with regards to the death of the 8 members on board the helicopter that crashed yesterday. So let me see if I will be able to get a few more conversation with regards to this. I want to speak to the member of parliament for the Ladade Kutupon constituency, Honorable Honorable Rita Odole-Soa, who is currently down. As you can see, she's physically down. But I wish to get a few words from Honorable. This is quite unfortunate. It's not something that you'd want to be talking about at this time. But what do you have to say? I mean, the fact that this news broke yesterday.
I would say condolences to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. It's a loss to the nation, but for him, the 8 is just too much. And you can see that we are all down. Ernest Addo is from my constituency, one of the military officers, and it's a difficult moment.
It's a very, very difficult moment. I also see Honorable Jifagomashi over here. Let me also get a touch from you, Honorable. Sorry to have this kind of conversation with you, but this is the situation we find ourselves. Very, very unfortunate.
It is. Our heart goes out to His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana, his Vice, the Chief of Staff, government, and the NDC party, and of course the people of Ghana. I share a floor with Honorable Mutala. Our ministries are in the same building, and he sits in front of me in Parliament as well. He sits in front of Nai and I.
Sorry. The day before, when they closed from work. So they were together in the lift the day before his demise. That's Honorable Mutala.
Very, very unfortunate situation. I mean, clearly, Honorable Jifagomashi cannot hold her tears. But, I mean, what can you say with regards to Honorable Murtala Mohammed? I saw him the last time on Friday when we were going on recess. Who was he?
Honorable Murtala was a bubbling young man. He jokes with everybody. The moment he enters the chamber, everybody knows Murtala is in, and he has something he says with Jifa. Immediately he sees her, he says, come on, come on. Then he'll be shaking the head. I'm also on the same floor with him in Parliament. And so he carries out his arguments very well. And when he stands on the floor in a debate, you can see that Murtala is on the floor. And so we have lost a gem as a Parliament and as a nation.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We've been speaking to both the Member of Parliament for the Ladade Kotopon constituency and also the Minister over there. Let's get a few more interaction. I can see Honorable if it's a free anchor. Let me get a few thoughts from him. Honorable, so good afternoon. You're live on Metro TV. It's a very, very unfortunate situation as we speak. What would you say? I mean, when this news first broke yesterday, how did you feel?
It's difficult to describe. You know, I was asked to go to Gomwa to go and wait for the president to come for the prayer meeting at the Pentecost Retreat Center. So I was there, and we were just waiting for His Excellency to arrive. And then the call started coming. Have you heard? Can you confirm? And I said, what's going on? So I put on the radio, went on the internet. Then, but initially it wasn't clear. Then subsequently, I went to see Reverend Wangam, and he gave some kind of confirmation. So it was evident that the president couldn't come, so I left. So it was on the way, following the interview on radio, that I got to know the details. And it's just, I don't know. It's just devastating. It's just devastating.
Can you confirm to us? We're hearing that the president was the one billed to be at this particular event that the honorable gallant ministers lost their life.
I don't have the facts. What I do know is that the president was supposed to come to Gomwa, but I also saw the flyers for the Obuasi program, and his name was there. So I don't know whether he had confirmed to go there and had to change. I don't have the fact. But what I do know is that, yes, on the flyers, he was supposed to be the special guest of honor, and then he was also supposed to come to Gomwa. So you see his posters and billboards at Gomwa, and that was where I was waiting for him. So whichever way it is, it's difficult, because I particularly had a very close working relationship with all the political appointees. In 2008, when I was Deputy General Secretary in charge of operations, I worked very closely with Omane Boama in the ops room. Then in 2012, when I was the campaign coordinator, he was my deputy. And we've been working very, very closely on a lot of operations, a lot of things. Murtala, when he was at ASU, I was the SRC president at Legon, and then subsequently notes coordinating secretary. So we worked very, very closely together. Sapon, when he was the mayor, I was the deputy minister for local government. We were so close that sometimes on Fridays, when the full soldiers come to my office and I ran short of money, he's the one I'll call. Charlie, Krofonoma finish me. Then he will send reinforcement. We traveled to China together with Daniana. So we are very, very, very close. Alhaji Muniru, I met him the 2 days earlier in the lift on the 4th floor. And he told me about his appointment, and I congratulated him. So that's how close I was with all of them. So it's just devastating. Just devastating.
A very big vacuum has been left, which probably may not be able to be filled.
No, absolutely. I mean, these Omane, when it comes to brain work, he has no contemporary, very solid, And like I said, I worked very, very closely with him. And the most painful aspect is that he had written a book on Professor Mills. We discussed it. He showed me a copy, and he was planning to launch it. And he said, I feature in that book a lot. So I said, he should tell me what is in the book. Now, I don't know what's going to happen to that book. So it's just too much.
Any final word you want to say?
Life is very complex. We should all be sober. We should all keep praying and ask for divine protection. And this should never happen again. Never, never. So on the technical side, I think that we need to investigate and get to the bottom of it, what really happened in terms of the helicopter. Because I'm told that for several years they've been having challenges. So we need to look at that and ensure that this doesn't happen again.
Earlier, I've spoken to some members of parliament who indicated that the military itself should not be allowed to investigate this matter. It has to be given to a private entity. Do you subscribe?
I believe so. I believe external entities should come, because this is not the first time. There's been several such incidents near crashes and all that, and I think on one occasion a few people died. So with this major tragedy, I think that we should bring external experts so that we'll get to the bottom of the issues and deal with it once and for all.
So that is the Honorable Elvis Free Ankra there speaking to us with the mics. He is actually supporting the call for some investigation to be conducted into the matter. So let's get some more reaction to the developments over here. So there's another interview. Let me quickly catch it up.
In addition to the Honorable Murtala was very instrumental in supporting very young people like myself to join the party and work for the party. I mean, almost all of them, Dr. Sapon was like a father. Anytime we're in Kumasi, we had to go to the house to visit him. So it's so sad that we had to lose them this way. It's very such a devastating way. Let's pray the Lord gives us the strength.
We know that some are calling for investigations into these particular developments. Do you subscribe to this? Looking at the high-ranking individuals involved, I'm talking about the defense minister and also that of the environment minister. I mean, it calls for some investigations.
Well, it's not.
Support this call?
It's not only because it's about high-ranking government officials, but globally, whenever you have any air accidents, there ought to be some investigation that would help you moving forward how to prevent such catastrophes. So irrespective of the individual, whether it's high government ranking officials or low government ranking officials, once there's such an incident, it's proper that we investigate and we know what's caused it, if it's human error, if it's mechanical, whatever be the problem, so that moving forward such things can be averted. So I think it's proper they look into it, and I hear there's already been an advance team, the military, to go to the site to investigate what happened. These investigations is to prevent such further or future occurrences. So it's just in order that we all know what's actually happened. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That is it. We have been covering this reef laying event. Let me finally speak to the Member of Parliament for Okaikwe South, who we normally call Honorable Kiyo. I couldn't get your name rightly, but Honorable, you have been on this visitation tour. You've been to the home of Dr. Murtala Mohammed and also that of Dr. Omani Boamah. You are here at the presidency to lay reef. What does how did you receive the news, first of all, with regards to what happened yesterday?
It was very shocking. We are very, very devastated, and this thing has created some serious vacuum in this country and also in our great party, NDC. We've lost something. I remember Omani Boamah during the campaign days as an election director. He was very dedicated. Every information that you need from him, he was always available to provide that information, and he was always on top of every information that he would provide. And then my brother Murtala Mohammed, he is one of my role models in Parliament. Very honest man, very dedicated, very fluent, and everything that he would get up and then say, he makes sure that it is credible, and then he makes sure he's saying the truth. We've lost something, but all I can say is that God knows best, and then may God save their souls, and then they should continue to rest in perfect peace. God knows best.
But before I let you go, looking at the nature of the accident, a lot of people, including your own colleagues, are calling for a very thorough investigation into the development. Would you subscribe to this? And the fact that they don't want the military to investigate itself, but to a private entity to do so.
Yes, investigation is necessary. Definitely they are going to do investigation and what caused the crash and other things. So definitely it will go on. But for somebody to blame somebody, so it's too early for us to do that. So I'm happy you said investigation. Definitely they are going to investigate and find out what exactly happened so that it won't happen again.
All right, thank you so much. We've got to wrap up with this particular event. So that is the Member of Parliament for Okaikwe South, Honorable Ernest Adomako, who have just been speaking to us. I mean, almost all of them are subscribing to the fact that there has to be some thorough investigation into this particular accident to unravel what actually caused that particular chopper to crash into the tree that eventually fell into that ditch that caused the life of the 8 members on board yesterday. So this is where we want to bring draw the curtain on this particular event. We've been coming to you live from the home of the late Murtala Mohammed, who was the Science and Environment Minister. We've also been speaking to, we've also been to the home of the Defense Minister, Dr. Omane Boamah, and we are wrapping up here at the ceremonial grounds, currently in front of the Flagstaff House, where a wreath have been laid in honor of the eight individuals who lost their life. The President, John Dramani Mahama, was the first to do that, followed by the Vice President, the Chief of Staff, and then the leadership of Parliament have also been here or got the opportunity to lay wreath on behalf of the whole Parliament in honor of these 8 gallant individuals.
And that was our colleague Jeffrey Malto Atipe from the Jubilee House coming through to us of the laying of flowers for the departed souls. And I have been joined in the studio by my colleague Desmond Okreku. So we will all watch that.
Yeah.
Desmond, what are your takes, really?
It's really sad. It's just gone past 24 hours since the incident happened, and for the past hours, it just goes to show what the country has lost with respect to the persons involved in this particular tragedy. And also for me, interestingly, this was the first appearance of the president since the incident happened. And you could see that he's been really hurt by what has happened with the dark shades on. I could only imagine what's going on behind, the shades there. But this is what it is, and we just need to mourn these persons and make sure that they're celebrated, as they are no more. So we're here on Metro TV to bring to you all that is happening with respect to this incident that took place, or that happened yesterday in Akrofom in the Ashanti region, and I saw the President, John Mahama, laying the flowers there. That was the very first one that was done there before the Vice President continued, and the Chief of Staff, Julius Debra, also laid a flower there, and many persons, and also our colleague Jeffrey spoke to a number of parliamentarians who were there, and for Jifagoma, she just couldn't hold it. Yes, and the tears had to flow, and you saw Rita now Dolly, so are the MP for La Dade Kotopong. Making all comfort in her, right? So on the screen right now, you see what is happening there. I'm not able to figure out who is that speaking to you. Yeah. That portrait of Dr. Omane Boamah there. If we just take the sound of that and we'll come back. Okay, so that's I was just trying to figure out who it was speaking there, and of course you know that now it's been open to the public to lay their flowers there. You can see that this person is really hurt, really hurt by the demise of Dr. Omane Boamah and all the others involved in that particular crash. And there's still tributes coming in, and we know that the Just One Group has also released a statement mourning with the rest of the country. Let me just go through that real quick, and definitely we'll be crossing over to join our colleague Eko Sechisaki, who is currently at the residence of the deceased MP for Tamale Central, Honorable Dr. Murtala Mohammed. But let me just go through the statement from Zoom Lion Ghana Limited, the Just One Group of companies, and it says that we join the rest of Ghana in mourning. I'm deeply saddened by the tragic helicopter crash that claimed the lives of 8 dedicated Ghanaians, and goes on to mention all the names of the persons involved there. As we know already, says that this is a heartbreaking loss to the families, to the government and to the nation. They served with honor and distinction. Ghana has lost true patriots. On behalf of the entire Just One Group, I extend our deepest condolences to the bereaved families. Our thoughts and prayers are with you during this difficult time. May the souls find perfect peace. And this is from the executive chairman of the Just One Group of Companies, Dr. Joseph Siao Ejapon, with a statement that joined the rest of the country to mourn. So just to go through, very soon we'll be joining the Kosechi Saki, standing by the residence of Honorable Dr. Murtala Mohammed. So Echo, take us away. What is happening there at the residence now?
They will be ushered into the room where we have the wife of the late minister in there. Then they will go and greet him. We have a book of condolence that have been opened for the late minister. We've seen quite a number of dignitaries who have come in to sign the book of condolence. We've seen the Attorney General and Minister of Justice Dominic Ayine signed the book of condolence, and also the former NPA boss, that is Al-Hassan Tampuli. At the moment, we've seen quite some people who have come. We've seen some people who have come here to commiserate with the family. Let me get closer to engage them. I understand they have a good relationship with the late minister. Let me get closer and speak to them because there was an official announcement. Okay. So at the moment, I understand we have the president of. Let him introduce himself. Can you mention your name?
My name is Ibrahim Abdullahi Masigan. I'm the current president of Yankasa Association in North America, which is the New York, United States of America, inshallah.
And what is the meaning of the Yankasa Association?
Yankasa Association is
Kosechi Saki there at the residence of Honorable Dr. Murtala Mohammed, the now deceased, was the Minister for Science, Environment and Innovation. And you see the family members have come around to commiserate, to comfort themselves in this particular moment that they find themselves. I remember that the body or the family had released a statement, that was yesterday, that the burial service for him was going to take place today at 10 a.m. until we had a directive coming in from the president that there should be that should be halted or postponed. But really, looking at all that has happened, all the things that are being said about these persons, and also I do not want us to forget the other persons involved in that. Of course, these are the high-profile government officials. That's why we may be talking about them so much. But of course, all the others are really important. But looking at what people are saying about them, you know that indeed we have lost great patriots of this country.
Absolutely. You know, sometimes politics fall in.
Yeah.
We don't get to really hear of that part of them, how kind they are. In fact, both Dr. Omane Boama and also Murtala Mohammed, most of the people that spoke about them, both the people around their homes, the people they worked with, have said emphatically that these people were very kind people. And when they spoke about Murtala Mohammed, they mentioned how he's a jovial person. You know, we see him on how he's very, he would debate about issues. He's very straightforward. But some of the things people have said about him is how honest he is. You know, we are in times where people think, oh, politicians are not that honest. There's that, you know, thing that has been created around them. But these are people telling you that this man is very honest, is kind. I watched a video of him yesterday of how he's saying that, look, at the end of the day, whatever you do here on earth, you are going to pay for it. He's thinking about integrity. He's thinking about hereafter. So he has that. So for someone who has that in mind, who has that as a focus, you can be sure that in everything he's doing, he's going to be very careful because he knows that he's going to pay for whatever at the end of the day. And he also said that, you know, he doesn't like corruption, he stands against bribery, and the video said it all. He was saying these things by himself. Now, after he passed on, his colleagues in parliament have said the same thing, that he's an honest man, he's straightforward, he works hard, and he's also jovial. He's a nice person. Just one we watched in the video right now was saying how when he walks to parliament, he's very jovial in this term he uses.
Yeah,
you know,
and of course, even here on Metro TV, he was a regular panelist on Inside Pages, our newspaper review show on Saturday mornings. He comes here, and the likes of you know, Tornado and the production team guys talk about you know, how he is like, and you find out that it's sad, you know, losing such persons. And for me also, I'm looking at the academic part of these persons.
Absolutely.
Dr. Omane Boamah is a doctor.
Yes.
I mean, a health doctor. Let me just stick to that.
Yeah, because you know, doctor people only think is by the title, but
apart from that, he has knowledge about a lot of things.
Right.
He was director of IT and elections for the NDC.
Right.
So you look at a doctor having that knowledge about IT, doing that, and then he was one-time Minister for Communications.
True.
So he's just open-minded and very knowledgeable that he's able to fit in anywhere. And just look at that. He was Minister for Defense, a very critical position in any country.
Yeah.
So for me, that is why I looked at it from that. Such a knowledgeable person. And then you talk about Honorable Dr. Murtala Mohammed.
Right.
The last time I saw in an interview talking about him, how he loves academia.
Okay.
And those are some of the things that he was working at, making sure that people understand that academia is very important. People in the academia can contribute positively to the development of the country.
Yeah.
And then you see this happening to them. It's really sad.
Really sad.
And again, the president is really hurt about that. And I'm sure on socials, as a lot of Ghanaians are writing there, we also hit the streets to gauge the thought of some Ghanaians on this particular incident. Let's take a look at that. When we come back, we'll try and connect back with Eko Sechi Saki at the residence of Dr. Murtala Mohammed. So let's watch this Vox from Ghanaians sharing their thoughts.
One people, one Ghana. So, Musoma Crafty, or one bar, or one for show money at the other. No, I cry at the Akusi. So, because Obi and him say, I do BC. And I want to say, helicopter, no be any a buyer, a call crash. So, because news near to say, there were lots of signal near the idea, no be brave. By the name, but they never can say, Omutimia then. And take his service to Sanya Manamano, helicopter, car, and side window. So I know bit my boy. Share quite say, cats not also on my name, but quite swap. So, Tino Obi Chica crown 20 boys of a 7 day on pray, one content could do 10 other day, at Aquashaba. She recently collatis here, Yashra Musino, and dress so the ministers near so just for 1 day, almost so much from Monqua. For your show more, Momo. Sorry, so say, Yaman come on, and I mean, show more. Now, don't losing nano, Yamin Shimo Momo.
Oh, incidents in the air, wholesome, what I say. But I mean, my dream check a clear measure and say, MBA na plane or problem dada. What I say, and you will nearby force landing, maybe another person or landing. Now, then a machine and gas will problem, and sana, and or more unchecky, what I say, and a common problem, sir. It's me, my dream, me one say, now here machine and gas will fault dada. But or more a roman check and a my problem here, you could see it. What I say, if I bush your phone, yako, what I say, because Osha can force it, not say, you say, ya to man, or mining in a problem. What I say, it's your more. Now more mobile support to be able to enter to young person or modern to papa and my papa be work from maybe be a quarter to what I say. Because as I'm not to Ghana, you know, ministers and any or more war playing Numina or Moya Nipa. Tea Yama or Mobusia for Yaqua. And I see no
Nyankopɔn ɔho yɛ mmɔbɔ ma ɔma bibi saa nsa nto Ghana bio. Wohwɛ plane sɛ de plane tie no a ɛnyɛ Ghana aban koraa ɛwɔ sɛ aborɔfo nsesa plane sɛ de yɛyɛ no. Ebia bibi saa si a ɔmo bɛtumi afa parachute ɛfa doors mu apiepie na plane no nko akɔ. Ba wohwɛ plane ɔmo kwa na bibi si a ɔmo ntumi nyɛ ɔmo hwehwee. Bia bɛhyɛm saa na ɔmo akɔ. Ti sɛ yɛ nimdefoɔ ana nipa kase sɛ ya ɔmo kɔfuru plane a yɛhwere ɔmo sese no gye sɛ yɛ saa hwehwɛ Ghana saa hwehwɛ na ɔmo anya nipa ɔmo ti sa. Ɛno so adesua ɛnyɛ easy. So obi bɛsua adeɛ more than 40-50 years na one day wafuru plane a ɔmba bi me ɛnyɛ.
Nkwanhyia na esi nnura ne deɛ yɛdwe ho a yɛnte ase na yɛtimi hu sɛ sese yɛ kwan no ɛmmoa yɛn. Eti sɛ nkampanifo ne bɔ mmɔden yɛ kwan ne ma yɛn a nkɔm bɛtena kaa mu na ɔmo de akɔ ama wee nyina nka ensi. Eti mi gidi se kwan na wo nya ma yen na ye be fa fi se nya mpanifo no ko ye mu timefo na akasa no si ye kokuma ase ne obo ase wo na ye kas ne ta nya accident pa eti ye pampanifo no cho mo nya kwan no omo ye kwan ne dia sa problem we na bi nsi biem eti ye ma abusuafo ne nyina ya akọ ayawre ho sampa enti ye sre abusuafo Ghana ma ye nyina na de ato ye but abusuan ye mom ya akọ omo shedding na dey see no ane die fitian no ane nyina ma boto saa enye tebusuafo nyina ye mom ya akopa.
And so those were some thoughts of Guineans about the incident yesterday. Of course, everybody sad about the situation. And for now, some more tributes coming in. We've got the ECOWAS and also AU sending in tributes. We're going to have them right away. And then we'll still try and connect with Eko Sechisaki. So this is coming in from ECOWAS and says that it is with profound sorrow that we have received the tragic news of the helicopter crash in Ghana, which claimed the lives of several senior government officials, including the Minister of Defense, Edward Omanibuama, and the Minister of Environment, Science and Technology, Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed. On behalf of the staff and leadership of all ECOWAS institutions, I extend our deepest condolences to the bereaved families, the government, and the people of the Republic of Ghana. And of course, adding that their thoughts and prayers are with all Guineans. And that is from Abuja and signed by the President of the ECOWAS Commission, His Excellency Dr. Umar Aliyu Ture. With that, and this is from the AU
as well. Now, the chairperson of the African Union Commission, His Excellency Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, has learned with deep sorrow of the tragic helicopter crash in the Ashanti region of the Republic of Ghana, which claimed the lives of 8 people, including Ghana's Minister of Defense, Honorable Edward Omanibuama, and Minister of Environment, Science and Technology Innovation, Honorable Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed. So that's from the AU, and the chairperson conveys his heartfelt condolences to His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, the government and the people of Ghana, the bereaved families of all those who lost their lives in this national tragedy. He also expresses his solidarity with the Ghana Armed Forces and the ruling National Democratic Congress during this difficult time. His Excellency Yusuf stated the African Union stands in full solidarity with Ghana in mourning this profound loss. May the souls of the departed rest in eternal peace.
Okay. And of course, the Kenyan president has also sent in a tribute. I saw that earlier. It says that we extend our condolences to His Excellency President John Mahama, the government, and the people of Ghana and the bereaved families following a tragic helicopter crash that killed 8 people, including 2 ministers. We stand in solidarity with Ghana in mourning this profound loss and offer our thoughts and prayers during this time of prayer. Rest in peace from His Excellency William Ruto, the President of Kenya. Okay, so we're crossing back to the Jubilee House. Our colleague Shadrach Odamie Jare is there, and he's got some footage for us. Please, let's take a look at that.
It has to be investigated. It could be deliberate. It could also be that it was a mistake. So let's get to the bottom of the matter. But for me, some of the things I know. Samson Oje became the chief of army staff. And I remember Samson Oje would personally take the flight and pilot President Mills. He piloted President Mama. I also remember on 2 occasions that Samson Oje piloted the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. So you will want to take some of the finest to do these things. If we don't take the finest to lead our leaders across, and probably we took a novice, I don't know his level of proficiency in piloting, and it happened. I don't know why anybody will lose your wife less than 1 month, and then they ask you to go and take a plane. Even driving a car, you should be in a traumatic state to do so. And all these things must be investigated so that we can get to the bottom of it.
Chairman Mona, thank you so much for speaking to us. So that was Bernard Mona, who is also here for the wreath laying and then the flower sprinkling at the forecourt of the Jubilee House or the presidency here. There's been rank and file of the National Democratic Congress, and then we've also seen heads of the various institutions also coming through. We have seen some CEOs, we've seen some managing directors, we have seen some ministers, we've seen some members of parliament, and a host of others coming through for the wreath laying and then flower sprinkling of the 2 ministers that lost their lives and the other 6 persons. Honorable, welcome to the Jubilee House. For the creative industry, you have also might have worked with all these people, or the very 2 ministers, or maybe have personal relationship with the 2. Before that, there was the burning of the office of the National Film Authority. Then this followed. So for you, as someone who had already experienced one tragedy, how did you receive it? Where were you? How did the news come to you?
So we're in management staff there, when I saw the news trickling in on social media. I didn't believe it, because these days you can get Hawks news and all that, so I didn't pay attention to it. And I did not break the news. I didn't want it to come from me. I didn't believe it until I saw the Honorable Chief of Staff addressing the press and confirming the accident was true, and we had lost our colleagues. Personally, I have a relationship with all of them. I mean, the government appointees, the ministers, all of them. Honorable Dr. Omane Boama, he's my mate. We all grew up from Koforidua. He served Reverend Father Gabriel Pamabaka at the St. George's Parish Cathedral in Koforidua in the 80s. We all completed this from the same year. He was in Pojos, I completed Ghana's. I know his mother worked at the ministries, land valuation. But to let you know how deep and close we are, when I was in Cape Coast, Ghana National College, for my O-level, his father was the regional deaf and deaf officer. So when I ran out of money and I need something, I go to his father. So Kofi and I are brothers that we go way back. And he's senior in politics. I mean, I joined later. But he's someone that I admire so much and I look up to him. Recently, at the President Cup match, the authority was Sports Authority, and he told me that I have noticed the sports and tourism relationship, Charlie. So you guys keep it up and all that. So then Honorable Samuel Sapo, he's my chairman, my boss, my brother. I remember during Professor Mills' time, we traveled together to Brazil, Colombia, London. So when we meet, we have this catchphrase that we use. He called me Bogota, then I say Bogota. We play, I know him. Honorable Mutala, I met him through His Excellency John Dramani Mahama when we were in opposition in 2007, 2008. That's where, so I met him from His Excellency Mahama's home in Jolu. And we have been brothers. He called me comrade, till we came to 2009. And then
so you have literally
I know all of them. Abuaji, our last chat, I can't show it, but you see, I saved his name, Abuaji Obuasi East. And the last time he sent me a message, it was about the donation that he had made to the chief imam. Yeah, Obuasi. I just want to open so that you see how close we are. Yeah.
But
So
there is also this call, the use of social media and what people post. Because once the news came out, people are sending gory images and nobody cares, not respecting anybody's mental health. They are family members, they are friends. How, from where you sit, how do you think we can help curb this? Because anybody wants to share anything, regardless of where it's coming from.
we need to be sensitive, and like you mentioned, mental health and emotional health is very important in times like this. It's very traumatizing. So if people continue to post these gory pictures, and the internet never forget. It will be on the internet even years to come. You see these pictures, the social media will remind you of the day and what happened. So I'll plead with social media users to be circumspect and decorum in their comments and commentary on this tragedy. It's a tragedy. It's a national tragedy, and it's not something that we need to, excuse my language, to be insensitive with. Yeah, we should desist from posting. I don't post people who pass and all that. Very cool with post. Yes, because it affects me. I celebrate people when they are alive, and I've not slept. Since last night, I've not slept. I sat in my couch. My wife left to the bedroom. She said I should come and sleep. I said I will come. Before I realized it was 6 a.m. I've not slept.
We understand. Our condolences to you and then to every family member. Thank you so much for speaking to us. So that is Agri Abeku Santana. And he has also cautioned the public on the sharing of such gory images. Usually these things happen and then there are family members, there are relations, different sort of relations, and everyone is acting or reacting to that differently. But we are still around picking some bits and pieces here on Metro TV. We'll be back with more. All right, so that was my colleague, presidential correspondent, Shadrach Odami-Ajari, interacting with, that is the Deputy CEO of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Gilbert Agri, also known as Abeku Santana, sharing his fondest memories of the persons who had passed on from this incident. And so you see a lot of persons there. Earlier we had seen that the Dr. Joseph Sejapon was also there to lay his wreath. And you see some persons with some of the flowers there, I should say. So it's now open to the public. So could just go there. I was just going to go through, Helen, I was going to go through the rest of the program for this particular week, as was mentioned yesterday, that there's going to be 3 days of national mourning to honor the departed, as it started today, and we brought that to the public laying of flowers, and that was done at the ceremonial garden in front of the presidency, where the officials are from right now. And the statement says that members of the public, families and friends are respectfully invited to participate, and the opportunity for the laying of flowers and lighting of candles will continue on Friday, 8th August 2025, allowing further time for citizens to express their condolences and respect. And the period of national mourning will conclude on Saturday, 9th August 2025, with an evening of reflections and memorials. And this event will begin at 5 p.m. at the forecourt of the State House, where all Ghanaians and families will gather to reflect on the legacy and contributions of the departed. These 3 days offer our nation a vital opportunity to collectively mourn and reflect on the profound loss we have experienced. So that is it with the 3 days activities lined up for morning. Now you see the Deputy Minister for Agric in your shot just gone by, John Seto Dumelo, making his way there among several other persons. You see some of the police officers with the flowers. They're walking towards the garden. Then, of course, you're watching this live on Metro TV. We're here to bring you all the happenings with respect to this. I am Desmond Okrekuda, and I'm here with Helen Anyaweja bringing this to you. I know earlier we went to the Western region where we spoke to Zambaga Rufai. And I was saying that as this is happening in Accra, in other parts of the country where the persons affected have their families, it must be really sad. We've seen videos where one of the persons just got married about a month ago.
Yeah.
And for a young lady to become a widow in such a manner is really tough.
Really, really tough. You don't want to be in her shoes at all at this very moment because, you know, marriage is a time where, you know, it's supposed to come.
It's supposed to be a sweet thing,
yes,
right?
And you know, she's hoping that, you know, from there they are going to enjoy their marriage for many years to come. They're going to have their kids and all that, all to just after a month of marriage, and then you lose your husband. It's indeed a tragic moment for her as well, and I just want the family, the friends to actually support her, and I'm sure they are already doing that. But in this time of trauma, they should just support her because it's not an easy fate at all. Nobody would want to be in those shoes of hers. And also the other widow, as well, now widow, also at the Western region, who you know, also lost their husband.
She's at the naval base.
Right.
She's a psychologist
as well.
And this is the point where she herself would have to go through what she takes others through to be counseled in this particular difficult moment. And kudos to the regional minister, Joseph Nelson, who went there to commiserate with the whole Air Force base, and of course to her especially, also in this very difficult moment. And
it wasn't easy breaking the news to her.
It would never be easy. It would
never
be easy for that to happen. And also, we went to the northern region, where our correspondent, Alassane Dibaba, gave us the happenings in the community, how the families there are taking a strike for Alhaji Muniru, and also for Dr. Murtala Ibrahim. So we're still at the Jubilee House. So those are visuals from the Jubilee House. I think I see Kojo Thompson in red. Yes, Robert Coleman also of that's Wembley. Yes, all coming through to the garden to pay their respect to the departed. So they have the entourage coming through, and it's a really sad thing. As I mentioned, the president himself looks very devastated, very devastated to lose very close persons, you know, in this manner. I've also heard what people have said about Dr. Sapon. And also to Samuel Abuaji, very young man. I heard his very good friend Fuseni Donko, who is the Deputy Director General for National Service, talk about him and how he doesn't know how his spouse was going to take this particular news and all of that. And it's a really sad thing. Not forgetting the state in which yesterday we saw Dr. Omane Boame's mother. And for the understanding is that he is an only child. And for this situation to happen to her, it is very difficult. Very difficult.
Because that's not what we look up to. I mean, you're looking out for your parents to grow, for him to rather bury them and not the other way around. So it's a really tragic moment. For the mother and everybody else. I'm told the wife is also not in the country. I don't know if she's arrived yet, and I'm told she's there alone by herself. It's really not a good moment.
Okay.
But
so
let's
take the interview. Kojo Thompson is speaking to the media.
A day like this, anytime during this administration, Some of us would have called them devils. And that is the truth about it. It's a bad day, it's a tragic day, it's a day of grief. The whole country is caught in that grief. This is unexpected. This is unwarranted. It shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't ever happen. This is what I can start with.
Was it an avoidable death?
No, because we are not God. No matter how anyone tries to explain it away, there must always be a way for human beings to exit. How it happens, God never showed anyone. I know how I will exit. Probably in the next, I won't be here. But how it will happen, I won't know. So in that regard, it's going to be difficult for me to say it's avoidable. But of course, it is the investigations that will come after it that will determine whether it was a situation or human error played any role or whatsoever. But even with that, the incident had taken place already. The only thing we can do is to learn from it and make sure we seal the loophole so that next time it can be avoided. We have all kinds of things running through our heads, even though it's going to be a bit difficult for us to put them out. But the suspicions are too many in my head. But as I said, I have no evidence to prove anything. We should not wash this away. We should not let it pass as one of those things that happens. Nyame, how do we call it? Yemfama Nyame kind of thing. It shouldn't. Everyone is distraught. I couldn't sleep since last night. Everyone is distraught. I couldn't sleep since last night. I woke up at 2:22 or something. I couldn't close my eyes till this. I woke up at 2:22 or something. I couldn't close my eyes till this morning, till now. And I'm sure so many others, including yourself, till now. And I'm sure so many others, including yourselves. There was this rain that had gathered on top of the roof, and then some wind blew, and he was the one that the